Positive Anime Reviews is a review show that is designed for people who aren't very picky about their anime, like me. Most anime I watch ends up in my 5 out of 5 category. My reviews are for those people who are looking for a reason to watch anime rather than hate on it. I am willing to give any and all anime a chance before stating my opinion. Lastly, my reviews are all my opinion and might and or most likely won't match yours. If you don't agree, that's totally fine. Just be respectful in the comments section. Thank you. And as always, possible spoiler warning ahead. Hey guys, Darth Glork here, back with another positive anime review. Today we will be talking about Gangsta. And we're not just talking about my biography either. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Anyway, we're talking about Gangsta, the anime, you know? Okay, so there you have it. So, yeah, I just woke up, and so it's like my brain takes like a good hour or two after I'm physically awake to really start turning on and doing its thing. So, I also woke up with a headache today, so today is a rockstar in the morning kind of day. So, I say morning, it's 2 in the afternoon, but, an hour ago was morning for me. So, it is almost 2, actually. I woke up at like 12:30, so, hour and a half, whatever. Anyway, so of course we were talking about Gangsta. This anime aired in the summer 2015 season, so it's not exactly the newest anime on the block, but not the oldest either. I actually don't know if this anime has a dub, because I didn't look. I think it does, but don't quote me. I think so, though. Now, I believe, let's go to our little cheat sheet here. So this is a adaptation from a manga. I obviously, like most anime, I haven't read the manga, but, maybe I should. Anyway, but like always, we will be starting with the synopsis because it is the easiest and most effective way to sum up anything, and it's much easier than listening to me. So, Nicholas Brown and Warwick Arcangelo, I nailed it, known in the city of, oh my gosh, I hate this city name, Ergastelum, nailed it, as they are known in this city as the Handymen, a mercenaries for hire who take on jobs no one else can handle. Contracted by powerful mob syndicates and police alike, the Handymen have to be ready and willing for anything. After completing the order of killing a local pimp, the Handymen add Alex Benedetto, a prostitute also designated for elimination, to their ranks to protect her from forces that want her gone from the decrepit hellhole of a city she has come to call home. However, this criminal's paradise is undergoing a profound period of change that threatens to corrode the delicate balance of power. The city was once a safe haven for Twilights, a superhuman beings born as a result of a special drug, but are now being hunted down by a fierce underground organization. This new threat is rising up to challenge everything that the city stands for, and the Handymen will not be able to avoid this coming war. So there you go. It's a super cool premise, and I was certain, and it was enough to certainly get me there. Now, this anime is one of the ones that from episode 1 it grabs you immediately. At least it did for me. The atmosphere, the art style, and the art style was definitely going for a more mature look, and I really liked it. But just everything, it just grabbed you. The atmosphere, the style, the opening music was super cool. Just everything grabbed me immediately, and it made me interested. And then of course the story was the best part of it all, the story and the characters, and it really just pulled it together and made you want to watch it, made you want to see more. And obviously that's great. So anyway, but moving on to a rating, which is how clean or dirty is this anime. This anime is definitely a mature rating. Mature R, you get the idea, but it's gonna be definitely mature just because there's lots of violence. There's lots of violence, and then there's a little bit of profanity, but that's what the site says, profanity. Really, it's the violence. But yeah, there's a pretty hefty amount of violence in this one, and it's not any worse than some other ones that I've seen, so it's not like it's the most violent anime I've ever seen. It's just on the violent spectrum of things. But otherwise, there's not really that much else in it. I mean, there's there's not even really any sexual content. There is lots of, not innuendos, but everyone knows what's happening, but it doesn't show anything. You know what I mean? So but regardless though, it's a mature rating. So as far as similar anime, this is a section we actually usually skip, because unless an anime that I think actively hey, this is just like this anime, I don't bring it up otherwise. I almost always skip this section because there's rarely any ones that pop out. This one is actually one that I do have one that is a similar anime. This anime reminded me a lot of Black Lagoon, which is actually another anime that we have reviewed on my channel before. So it is, but yeah, this reminded me a lot of Black Lagoon, and maybe that's one of the reasons I liked it so much, is because it had this very serious, mature vibe about it that just grabbed me, and it was really, really good. But moving on to our genre section, it is definitely a action and drama, but that's pretty much it. It's action and drama, so you know, it's no surprise there. There is a fair amount of drama, and like it's like slowly revealing background stories of characters, and it had me hooked, and I just loved the world, loved the atmosphere, loved the characters. It was really, really cool. Anyway, moving on to our season length, which is like, you know, how long is everything? This is a 12-episode anime, and the episode length is exactly what you would expect at about 23 minutes apiece. So, you know, nothing new there. Now, this is one of those anime that does not have anything after the closing song. So after the closing song hits, you'll have about a minute and 30 seconds or so. You're free to leave. There's nothing afterwards. But yeah, this is one of those. And honestly, I prefer those ones because it's much less work for me. Because, I mean, not even from a reviewing standpoint, but from like a watching it as a fan standpoint, I don't have to worry, like, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? I can just know that I didn't, and I can just move on. And I prefer that. But anyway, so moving on to our character section. So there is a fair amount of characters in this one, but there's only really 3 main characters, and those are, of course, the 3 we will be talking about. But there is a fair amount of characters, and there's some other characters that I really liked, but we will just be talking about the 3 main characters. Anyway, so moving on to our very first main character, we will be talking about Warwick Arcangelo. I think they say his last name. So Warwick is the blonde dude. I think he's blonde. I would say he's kind of blonde. It's like super light. It's like almost white haired. It's either white or blonde, or a very like blonde but like super light. I don't know. I'm colorblind, remember? Anyway, so first of all, moving on to Warwick, he's the quote unquote blonde dude with the eye patch. He is a super laid-back guy. Even though he is one half of the Handymen, so this mercenary group that does all kinds of stuff, Warwick is very laid-back and very chill, and so it's funny because a lot of what's going on with like a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of intense characters in the anime, and I mean, not all of them, there's a fair amount of laid-back ones too, but Warwick especially is super chill and almost, I don't want to say like a goofball, because he's not really goofy. It borderlines on being goofy, but then he has lots of moments too where it shows off the other side of him, where he's not just goofy all the time. He has this serious, super capable, super dangerous, super cool side of him that was super. It was just this great balance, and I really liked it. It was this super cool balance, and I really liked it a lot. And he was fantastic. So he's super caring about people in his circle, and it's kind of like honor among thieves, and they're obviously not thieves, but you get the idea. These guys are mercenaries. They're working for corrupt police or mob bosses. They're close friends with a lot of all these high up mob bosses. So they're like friends with the mafia and the corrupted police and all this stuff. And so it's one of those things that it's like there is like they have all this kind of this brotherhood of friends, even though everyone knows we're all bad guys. Like, I mean, I don't know. They're kind of bad guys, but they're doing a lot of good things. Like, they're protecting these Twilights from being massacred just because they're different or whatever. And obviously that's a very good thing. So it's kind of this weird mix that a lot of things they're doing are not good, a lot of them, but they are doing some good things too. And so it's just kind of this weird balance. But Warwick and the Handyman specifically, kind of even go a little farther, where they are often doing more, like they're often a little more on the nicer side than sometimes of the rest of the mafia. But don't get me wrong, they are not, you know, super good guys, Superman, Boy Scout people, so don't be deceived. But anyway, so that is Warwick. He's pretty simple. Him and Alex, which is another character we'll talk about, don't worry. So Alex is, I don't know if it's short for Alexandra or if she just goes by Alex, I don't know. But regardless, so they kind of had this light flirting thing where it felt like they had kind of this more special relationship, and like, because she's kind of friends with Nicholas and Warwick, but it's kind of, I don't know, but it felt like that her and Warwick kind of had something special that was kind of unspoken, and they had lots of their own special moments too, and I loved that a lot. I shipped the crap out of Alex and Warwick a lot. I thought that was amazing, and all I wanted was like official confirmation, but regardless, him caring about her was good enough. So anyway, moving on to our next main character, the other half of the Handyman is Nicholas Brown. So Nicholas is I don't know if I think he's deaf, I think is what they said, because he can kind of speak, but his language doesn't sound quite right. So he has his own set of subtitles on top of the subtitles that I was watching. But he doesn't speak quite right, so I think he's deaf. He can't hear anything. He can read lips. He can do sign language. So yeah, I guess he's deaf. But he's super cool. He's this swordsman. He is a Twilight himself, actually, and so he has these special abilities, and he can fight he's super powerful thanks to these drugs. But it's not like, he's not just super OP like you might expect. There's a lot of special circumstances and stuff to being a Twilight that's not all just sunshine and rainbows. So a lot of it that makes it not worth it, to be honest. But anyway, so he's otherwise, obviously, as you might expect, he's a super quiet dude. That him and Warwick are like just like they are definitely bros, and I love it a lot. They just feel like brothers, and I love that. They are super close, and as it slowly reveals Warwick's and Nicholas's backstory, you have even a bigger appreciation for like kind of them being so tight. You appreciate it even more, and I liked that a great deal. Nicholas in himself loves to fight. He's always looking for a good fight, and often charges into fights. Maybe because it doesn't really seem like he thinks about him losing, but fights that everyone else knows he won't win, that maybe he doesn't, he charges in anyway because he likes to fight. But him and Nicholas and Warwick are super tight, and Nicholas has this like kind of this, I don't know, like serious macho man, but kind of delicate soft side that he shows people. Like, he can be kind. Obviously, he's not so obvious about it though. And so, and I liked that he was nice to Alex lots of times, and he gave her lots of like little nice gestures and her super hard difficult life. And throughout the anime, he does a lot of nice, very kind things that, especially because it goes kind of unspoken. It was so lovable even more that you're just like, good for you, man, good for you. That was super nice or whatever. And I liked that a great deal. But moving on to our final main character, we have Alex Benedetto. I think is how you say her last name, but her name is Alex. She is amazing. She was a former prostitute and was saved by the Handyman. And she is awesome. She's caring, she's nice, and honestly, you just feel so sorry for her the whole anime. Like, as her backstory's revealed, you feel more sorry for her, and she's like coming off these drugs that this pimp like forced on her and stuff. So she's like dealing with all these crazy side effects after these drugs, and so like including memory loss and stuff and all kinds of things. And but you just feel so sorry for her. Ultimately, she's a super caring, like nice individual that she takes up kind of work with the Handyman, that she like handles kind of their secretary stuff for their company, and they give her a job and they give her a place to sleep, and they really help her out, and I loved that a lot. And Alex she really kind of rose to the occasion, that she's like, all right, she steps up and she really tries to find she really tries to find her place, and you really feel sorry for her. And as her backstory is revealed, you feel even more sorry for her. But otherwise, she's a super caring, loving individual. And throughout the anime, as things progress, she has other moments. She has some cool moments, and she has some moments where she can be super caring and super the city is crazy and obviously super violent because it's run by the mafia, by 4 different groups of mafia actually. But it's run by the mafia, and she has these moments where she can step up and do different things that I'm not going to spoil. And she's so cool to see her grow and see her become more confident and see her get start to kind of put her life back together at least a little bit. And after all the things that she's been through, and she was awesome. But that's basically it. There's a plethora of side characters, and some of them that I really liked. If you ever meet, I'm not even going to talk to you about them, but I'll just say, so if you watch the anime, you'll know. If you meet Ginger, and if you meet, I think her name is, everyone calls her Sir. I don't know if it stands for something or what. But if you meet those two, I liked that. Moving on. If you haven't get it, if you haven't watched it, then you won't get it. But when you do, then you'll be like, hey, that's who he was talking about. So there you go. But moving on to favorite, most hated characters. My favorite characters are Warwick and Alex. I shipped them to death, and I loved them a lot. Both of them had like that nice sweet side, but Warwick was super hardcore when he had to be. He had these own special abilities that gave him his own skill, gave him his own skills and his own abilities, and proved that he wasn't like second banana to Nicholas or anything. And I liked that a lot. And I loved Alex and him. I loved their little dynamic that they had going on, and I loved that. And I loved Alex anytime she was on screen. I was like glued to it because I just wanted her. I will just want you to be happy. All I want you to do is be happy. But anyway, but those are my favorite characters. As far as most hated characters, obviously you hate the villains. But so I'm not even gonna go into that because I feel like if it's most hated, there has to be a better reason than they're killing all the people that I like. You get the idea. And that's usually the reason. So I didn't like them, but I loved Alex and Warwick especially. Despite the fact that there's a lot of great characters in the anime, those two are my favorite. Anyway, so moving on to animation and music. So this animation had a definite, like, mature art style. It was very reminiscent in some ways of Black Lagoon, and I really liked it. And the animation was super cool. And it was very, very cool. And the music was another part of that whole dynamic where the music was super. It just felt so right. It was super on point, and it wasn't like your stereotypical happy, fluffy music. Which wouldn't have made any sense. It wouldn't have made any sense for it to be this like light fluffy because the anime is like it's mature and dark, and so the music was on point. It kind of had this like alternative style that kind of super fit with like kind of the gangster theme, and I really liked it. And the animation, like I said, was super good and super mature, and they were on point with that for sure. But otherwise, we're going to move on to our final rating and recommendation. This one is on the shorter side, but to be fair, there's not so much to talk about in this one. There's just not that much to say. So, and some anime are like that. But anyway, moving on to final rating and recommendation, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Not bad. This anime was mostly really good with one or two things that bother me, but is still worth a buy. So, here's why. The reason why is because the studio that owns this anime, I guess it's called Manglobe Studios, is bankrupt and out of business. And this is from the summer 2015 season, and I'm not going to feel bad about telling you it ends on a cliffhanger. A cliffhanger that is probably never going to get solved or fixed or taken care of. So that's why, because it's good, and it absolutely was on track for a 5 out of 5, and it would have absolutely gotten it had there been another season or whatever, had there been closure or whatever. And I'm not even mad at them for ending it on a cliffhanger. Like, I'm okay with that, because that just means that they're setting up for another season. Is like 8 times out of 10, that's what that means. And I'm okay with that, because if the anime is good, I'm happy for another season. Make it happen. I'll watch it, and I've always been like that. So I don't really care that they ended on a cliffhanger, but there's almost certainly not going to be any kind of resolution. So that's why, because it was on track for a 5 out of 5, but it ends on the cliffhanger. Odds are we're not going to get another season, and so it'll be forever unsolved, and that sucks. So, that's unfortunate. The other thing that really surprised me, and it's kind of on topic, is, so after I looked it up, I'm like, yo, is there another season? And I looked it up, and everyone was saying that, well, the studio that owns this is out of business. But the part that blows me away is everyone's like, oh, this anime was garbage. You're the only one I know that liked it, or whatever. People are so stupid. I don't know. Everyone is such bandwagon haters that maybe I'm the freak, and maybe I don't get it. But a lot of people just tear apart anime. Like, I don't know. I feel like this one. This anime was awesome. But everyone you found online was like, this anime sucks, this anime sucks, this anime sucks, including the list that I'm here. Anyway, including the site that I'm on for all the information, I go to my anime list, and it's just the easiest way to get all of what you need. But at the bottom, it gives you reviews. Well, every idiot that's on my anime list that does a review are all haters, all of them. So never read the reviews from my anime list ever. And in fact, for that matter, don't like, for that matter, don't watch reviews in general if they're if it's some idiot on some anime site, because it's some 12-year-old that watched it was like, I don't get it, it's stupid or whatever. Always make your own opinion. My advice is shop around for a reviewer. Is go and you watch several of them. Find an anime you know you love or whatever. You know it's great, but you don't love it so much that you're blind to its mistakes. You know it's good, but maybe it has some flaws, maybe it doesn't. You watch it, you love it. Then watch several reviewers review the anime that you know you like. And then, based upon, if you're going to watch more of them, based upon what they say about it. Because if you love this anime and everyone else rips it to pieces, then you know the rest of those guys are probably dumb reviewers, and they're not going to fit what you want. But if you watch them and they say things that you're just like, yes, that's it, exactly, watch that guy. Because clearly he knows things. Clearly him and you share opinions on anime, and that's great. Anyway, it just frustrates me because this is the reason that I do positive anime reviews in general, is because I'm like, look, somebody has got to be a positive voice for anime, because clearly I'm in the minority, because in the reviewer community, because a lot of other reviewers just rip everything to shreds, and it's so annoying to have everyone like the same biggest anime and hate the same biggest anime and hate them just because they're big, not because they're bad, by the way. Everyone is just always all the same, and you're just like, they're like, most anime are good, like some of them certainly aren't. I've reviewed anime that sucked, but like, not all anime is trash like most reviewers would have you believe. And I don't know, it's just so frustrating. It just frustrates me. But regardless, though, if you are here and watching this and like my reviews, I'm incredibly thankful, and I hope I can help you find anime that are good, despite what everyone else might say, and together we can ignore the idiots, and we can enjoy anime, and that's what it's all about. That's the reason this is called Positive Anime Reviews, and not, yet another hateful reviewer reviews, or whatever. You know what I mean? Anyway, so, my recommendation, I do recommend you watch it, so long as you are the type of person that won't become too invested. If a cliffhanger is that's never going to be solved, and it's not the type of cliffhanger that it's like killing you, you're like, is he dead? It's just that it was in the middle of this battle in war, and then it's just over, and you're just like, but why? And again, it would have been fine had it been set up for another season, but it wasn't. It was, but no season is coming. No other one is there. The studio is gone, so it's not really going to happen. So when you're to that point, it's like, it would have been fine, but because nothing's going to happen, it's annoying. So if you're the type of person that is bothered by lack of closure, I recommend skip it, because it will bother you to death. But if you're the type of person that you can watch it and you're like, well, it's unfortunate, but, if I had a good ride up to the cliffhanger, it was worth it. If you're the type of person that can kind of separate yourself like that, I totally recommend you go watch it, because it was good. It was absolute 5 out of 5 material. It only gets the lower score because it's lack of closure. But anyways, otherwise, that's it. That is going to call it for this one. So, right after this, I will totally be recording a Fallout 4. I think what are we on, part 14? Part 14. Nailed it. And part 14. And tomorrow is, of course, Saturday, which is normally, now that school's kicking back up, it usually isn't a recording day. I'm still on the fence. I might, and this is a big might, but I might try and bust out my homework like earlier, or like set an alarm and actually get up at a decent hour. I might try something different to try and knock it out so that I can record as well. It might not be a full recording day, but I might do like a random battle on Battle of Middle-earth, or we might start a brand new side game, whatever that is, or we might do a Fallout video, or I might not be able to record at all. We'll just honestly have to see what happens, and we'll play it by ear. But if nothing else, we'll see each other for Fallout, and then of course Monday will be totally normal, so lots of good stuff to look forward to there. Anyway, regardless though, that is going to call for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.